Gumi! What is up, guys? Steven here, and today I'm going to be bringing you Tennis's Week 4 game in LTPL against ttFTW. Now, this game was pretty interesting, actually. Tennis is using a team that he used, I think, in NU League, so it's a team that's known by TT. And basically the point of the team is Whirlpool Kangaskhan, which is a set that Tennis really likes because you can trap Rhydon, which he has, and Steelix as well, which helps Scyther to win games. And so yeah, that's kind of the point of the team. Looking at matchup, it's pretty even. I think Tennis has slight matchup advantage. Part of the problem is that the only way to remove hazards is rapid spin, and Rhydon can set up rocks pretty reliably on pretty much everything. So let's just get right into it. Tennis is going to lead Kanga, and going to switch out of the Rhydon, predicting the Whirlpool, which pretty much reveals that he does indeed know the team, and Drain Punch is just going to come out and kind of reveal Life Orb and do more damage to himself as a T-Spike gets laid, which is great. So rocks go up, and Tennis is just going to Whirlpool again, and does actually catch the Rhydon. Is it SDs? But getting this whittled is just really nice. Because that really helps Scyther to win, as this is the only flying resist. So Hitmonchan can come in now, and just close combat, because it's Scarf, like I said. And Mesprit reveals lefties, which is pretty interesting. Since Rhydon already revealed rocks, and this revealed lefties, meaning it's not choiced, it's most likely Calm Mind, which isn't very common. Specs is just probably the most common set. Scarf is also pretty good, and then defensive. But Calm Mind 3 attacks, or really any variant of Calm Mind, just isn't that common in the meta right now, so that was a little bit interesting, but Bronzor is there to take this on. But Tennis is going to play a little bit aggressively here in close combat again, predicting some sort of switch. I can agree with that play. Actually catches the Charizard, and this week Tennis is not using offensive Lantern, it is Assault Vest, so it chews up that Fire Blast. And just gonna Volt Switch another Rhydon. I can follow that up with an Ice Beam, which also covers the potential switch in of Shiftry. Speaking of Shiftry, here it is. Gotta go into Garbodor. It's really the only switch in that exists, and Tennis desperately needs to keep his Scarf on Hitmonchan, as it's probably one of his best ways of checking Charizard. Tennis makes a really good play in this Spikes, knowing that that Shiftry isn't going to want to take all that aftermath damage, and gets up his rocks with Bronzor, and predicts Roost and Psywaves. So Tennis is being a little bit insane, and unfortunately gets crit here by Charizard. Now this is really bad, because Lantern is the best defensive answer to this Zard, and the best offensive answer is definitely Scyther, which doesn't want to switch in on rocks, which are currently on the field. But just gonna go straight into Hitmonchan on a predicted HP Grass, which is what happens. And Tennis does actually get this spin off. I kind of disagree with switching there. I just think that it's better to just attack the Hitmonchan in that scenario, because worst case you just lose Zard, which doesn't really I don't know, it's pretty difficult, but Tennis gets that prediction correct and gets the spin off, and he is just gonna go straight into Garbodor on this Mesprit. Pretty much just scouting double switch, and ultimately can pivot into Bronzor. So this Mesprit just keeps Calm Minding up, and this is pretty menacing actually. He does 40 with Psywave, and then it reveals Rest. So this is kind of bad because this just beats Bronzor eventually. So the real key is just kind of getting in Scyther at the right time. So I'm actually going to skip ahead a couple turns, which I normally don't do, but this is just ends up with being, you know, Mesprit resting consistently against Bronzor and Bronzor staying in. And throughout this time, a couple of times Sleep Talk hasn't been clicked to preserve the Sleep Talk PP. So Tennis kind of is at an advantage because because not only does the Sleep Talk have to pull Psyshock, but he also has to click it on the turn that he switches. So on turn 40, Tennis decides to take the plunge and switches into Scyther. Does actually go for Sleep Talk and pulls Calm Mind and not Psyshock, which is just phenomenal for Tennis, as he can now just click U-turn, which does like 5 million to the Samurott, and can come in and CC. And since he is Scarf, you know, he can just prevent the Hitmonchan from spinning by clicking CC yet again, because he can clearly revenge this Hitmonchan with Aerial Ace, which is what he's going to go for here, and it actually does 2-hit KO this Mesprit, which is just great. And really the only hope at this point is that the shifter is Scarf, and reveals that it is Scarf and goes for Rock Slide. Tennis switches there to prevent that from beating him, and Psywaves on, you know, some sort of switch, which obviously makes sense. Now that Zard's in, all Tennis has to do is sack Bronzor, bring in Scyther and Aerial Ace, and the game is over because there's no attack that Shiftry can go for that can win the game, and it'll just die to the poison damage anyway. So yeah, that was a really good game, and I think Tennis played it pretty well. He had a pretty decent matchup, but the fact that the opponent knew the team made it a lot more difficult, and also that Mesprit was pretty menacing because, you know, Bronzor is regarded as the answer to Mesprit on the team, but that does not particularly help when it is running the set that it was running, being Crow Mesprit, which is really uncommon. So yeah, it was a bit of a longer game, but if you guys like this video, drop a like, drop a comment. If you dislike the video, drop a dislike and tell me why in the comments, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.